Hello, today I am going to look at some of the questions that I can get covered in the community tab section for political questions that I most recently left. And I'm going to do, the first question I'm going to do is on Emily Murphy. It's a shame that she shares a last name with me because it's embarrassing. I just had to share that. Don't you hate it when some jerk shares your last name or your first name or whatever and you're like, oh man. Okay, so Emily claims most recently, from what I've seen, that this is just very hard on her. This is, putting her to her limits. And it's like, look, Emily, all you gotta do is say who won. Sign off on it. And so I suggest Emily not be such a wimp, though I question whether or not that will actually ever happen, because she seems to be one of those women that likes to go along with this toxic patriarchy. One of those white women that does. That's an embarrassment to the rest of us white women who don't. So, let's just have a look at Emily and see if she doesn't sign off sooner rather than later, or does she capitulate to Trump's pressure. I think she's finding herself, obviously, as Trump is wont to do, to put people in very pressured situations to push his way for him. And then these people are all good with that, and then suddenly when they get the hardship of that task, they regret it, or they whine about it. But let's just see who the heck she is, and not that I'm terribly interested, but with regard to her signing this for us, I think it's important. So let's look at Emily Murphy, who is, we are waiting for her to sign off on confirming Biden as the winner. The concession of Trump. Anyway, she's supposed to sign off, so let's see what's going on. I'm sure she feels like she's in the middle, but, do your job. Emily Murphy, GSA. I ask my Creator and ancestors and my spiritual helpers to help me to read intuitively and with my knowledge of the cards accurately. Emily Murphy. All right. Eight of Swords. She feels confined. This, by the way, is the lovely Rachel True deck. The Sun. It's a beautiful card, isn't it? I'd love to have a poster of that. Rachel True, just in case you don't know, she was in The Craft. She's a woman of color. She's beautiful. Um, and she's a tarot reader. So she's really awesome in my opinion, and I love her deck. Check her out. She's on Instagram, and if you fancy tarot decks, you'll want to buy this one. It's a good one. This is the 10 of Discs, or Earth, Pentacles, Coins. I'm just gonna, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Now we shouldn't have any bells or whistles going off. Ace of Wands, there's that. Ooh. And it's a new beginning. It also feels like very much like a new start, but usually with the ace, it can be every bit as fiery as it looks. I just realized that I'd been sitting here talking with the pause button on my... Anyway, Emily. So let's repeat what I thought I had going. Emily wants to extract herself from this very precarious situation. And I believe with the Sun and the Ace of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, even this Death card and the Lovers, is that she's going to go ahead and sign. And I think sooner than we may expect, possibly, she will sign it. I think she will figure out... What I'm getting here is she's feeling uncertain, and she's feeling afraid, and she's feeling the pressures. I think she's also likely receiving various kinds of communication, of support, and possibly death threats, honestly, pertaining to her signing this. And I feel like at the end of the day, she's going to decide to go ahead and feel more confident to sign them, given, I think, circumstances as they progress. Now, I do feel that for the moment, there is yet sitting in some kind of uncertainty about how she's going to want to proceed, but she will. And in making that choice, she will enable a new government here to come in, and a new partnership to come into place in government that will go through. But I think it shows she gets the moon and the sun. She gets the feeling of being confined and not sure. I think with that, you can't see that that's out of frame. Oh, I've got a roll of paper towels under the chair over there. I'll have to get that later. Sorry. Anyway, the fun when you're on bed rest. I hate it when I find stuff like that and I gotta pick it up. Anyway, so we read vertically, oh my goodness, we read vertically and across. So I always typically read across, horizontally, and then vertically, unless something's really like popping out at me vertically. But if we just read vertically the first row down, we show her in this position of feeling really caught in a corner and uncertain, perhaps, of what she should do, how she should do this. I think there's also a feeling that they've given her, that they've kind of left her to it, but given her all of the pressure, and I don't think she appreciates it. It's really put her in a position of the moon, of feeling vulnerable, of feeling uncertain, and feeling alone to kind of traverse a landscape that she's really makes her nervous. But she's going to find her confidence at the end of the day and proceed forward. And I see that vertically the first row and horizontally the first row. And I see the new government coming in and the closing the door on the old government. I don't know whether this has any factor in Emily's life. Let me just go ahead and put this last couple of cards down. This is the Nine of Cups, Satisfaction, and the Princess of Wands. I think that she will be satisfied with the choice in the long term that she ends up making, of going ahead and signing. This is her mulling it over back and forth, and the fact that she is on a tightrope. They've really put her in a tight corner, and I think she might just get maybe a bit revved up enough about that aspect to say, well, hell, I'm gonna do what I have to do for myself, for my family, to move on. And perhaps she'll be thinking, look, this is my conjecture here, perhaps Emily might think, and I hope she does, Trump is not made the count where he should. He's just prolonging this and prolonging my own personal torture. And it's putting me in a horrible spot. I want to get on with my life, and this country needs to move on. So I think she'll end up signing it. I think the pressure will get to her. I say keep up the pressure, folks. Keep sending her messages and saying, you know, Emily, come on. Don't let this guy's... one of the comments I sent her personally was, you are going to have to live with us a hell of a lot longer than this guy is going to be around. And his cronies, you know, get with the program, do your job. I didn't use any curse words, save for maybe do your damn job. I don't think you always need to... I think I'm not anti-curse word, obviously, but I think they should be used for exclamation, you know? Let's just see real quick if I see any more that I want to go vertically down. So let's look at each row. Vertically down, then we have the sun shedding light, clarity, and we have that Page of Cups and the Two of Discs. So I think this is her considering her situation, weighing the pros and cons, realizing and perhaps not enjoying the fact that she's the one out there on the tightrope, dealing with all the commentary that she is getting. Okay, so there's another insight I just flashed upon. And that is with this Prince of Cups. If it's pulled in a... And I really thank Rachel True for writing this book. Again, I want to encourage any readers, new or old, to go out and get this book and set of cards. it's worth it. And I will put a link, although I recommend always to Google so you can find the best price. Always check out the shipping and handling, folks. Okay, anyway, because this Page of Cups has a very interesting set of cards around it. Above is the sun, behind is the moon, forward is death, and beneath is that facilitating two of earth, or two of discs, and on a tightrope. And what I'm getting from this is that what's emerging is that she's getting depressed. Okay. I see depression for her. And it is creating just too much tension in her life, and I believe for her own well-being, she's going to make the choice to choose to sign. I don't know when. It would look to me, but with the tarot, timing is not the same as Earth. It's looking at time from an eternal concept, but with some earthly timing in mind. It is on the horizon. It is on the horizon and coming. I would say, let me see, we are at the 19th, right? Yeah. I think she'll carry on a bit with this a bit longer, but it's going to become increasingly clear to her as she becomes, I think, more distressed emotionally by the stress that she's under, what she needs to do. And I see her not wanting to do this back and forth anymore. Just not capable of doing it, I think, emotionally, mentally anymore. Becomes clear to her what she must do to extract herself from this uncertainty and fear and move forward. I feel like she will feel much better after she does. Further into the future, with the Nine of Cups, she will feel emotionally better for it. And Princess of Wands, yeah, her energy will pick back up. It's really doing a number on her. It really is. And, you know, gee, I would say that I would offer empathy, but girl, the people you're working for are trying to destroy this country. You know, wake up, do the right thing. I can't give you any empathy until you know that and you do the right thing. So, I do see her waking up, but I do feel like it's out of her own, more frankly, personal cost of sanity, personal well-being. It comes down to that, which tells me that she needs to learn a whole lot more about empathy. So I do see her signing after suffering enough to realize, I think, typically of these people that's a part of his team, that it's just not worth it. Not worth it. When they have to finally feel the pain, it's not worth it. That's when you see a lot of these people resigning, also walking away, that have supported him. I think we'll see a few more that will do that, because I think his behavior is just going to continue to become completely, even for these folks that are working with him closely, just unmanageable. Just it's. I mean, he's always been too much. They'll walk away. Some of them, except for the people like Giuliani. Oh my God! Do you see that with the hair dye? What a fool. Anyway, so I'm gonna pop this up, and I'll get on to another one. All right. I hope you're having a great day.